Hey peoples, as always I want to say thank you for listening, I really appreciate it. So, Secret Obsession is a movie on Netflix that starts with a woman on the run from someone, we don't know who, but she's being chased and then she gets hit by a car and then she's in the hospital and she wakes up without a memory, but her husband is there to take care of her. But wait a minute, something's wrong. She keeps having flashbacks about being attacked and maybe things aren't quite right. Maybe this isn't her husband. And a detective is on the case. Yes. So, this movie is garbage. This is straight garbage, and I know that doesn't sound very analytical. I know I should start off like, well, the problems with this movie is this. But I'm so frustrated because I just watched it. I just watched this garbage, and I'm mad. I'm mad and I'm upset. This movie works if it's not now. And also if everyone else is dumb, and also if you don't understand how the law works or how just life works in general, okay? It just doesn't work, okay? I'm gonna try not to give spoilers except what's in the trailer, which kind of spoils everything, which is if you watch the movie, you're assuming that this guy is her husband, but then it's revealed later that it's not her husband. But in the trailer, they definitely show all that. So in this movie, it starts out where she's running from someone. I'm like, okay, I like the fact that it's starting out with action. Okay, cool. Then she gets hit by a car. Okay, so then she wakes up in the hospital and then her husband comes in, or who we assume to be her husband comes in and says, oh, I want to check on my wife and stuff. No ID is checked, okay? He just says it's my wife and they're just like, okay. So that's why I'm like, okay, so common sense is out of the way, and maybe this is an older film because nowadays you pull up social media, you can tell who's dating who, who's with who, who's kissing who, everything. But no, I'm like, okay, maybe this is an outdated movie. Maybe they're saying this is in another time, okay? So anyway, they get chummied up as she's going through recovery and he brings her home. When she comes home, she's in a wheelchair because she hurt her foot, and he's just rolling her around and basically trying to get her to jog her memory. I don't fully understand what his plan is because, as we've established, this is not a real husband, but he's pretending to be her husband because he's obsessed with her, obviously. But he's keep talking about, oh, you'll get your memory back, one day you'll get your memory back. But it makes no sense. What's your plan if she does get her memory back? The story makes no sense. Anyway, so like I said about the detective previously, there's a detective on the case trying to figure out what happened. Nothing that detective does makes sense. Police in this movie don't make sense because once the detective realizes that, oh, this guy isn't the guy that he claimed he was, he could easily put out a missing persons report or a kidnap report for the lady, okay? She has been officially kidnapped by a stranger who the police does not know, and they're trying to figure out who this guy is. Then when the cop actually finds out who the guy is, still no police report put out, no missing, kidnapped, or whatever report put out. Also, nobody in the world apparently is looking for her or him, ever. Everyone's just okay with them being missing. This movie doesn't address that. So this movie feels like it's not in the real world. This is all pretend. Also, this movie does a sidestep and gives us the cops, or tries to give us back information on the cop, like his personal life. It has to do with the cop losing a family member. This movie doesn't even go that far with that concept. There's one more scene where his, I guess, boss tells him, I know what weekend it is, the weekend you lost that person. Other than that, it's pointless. It doesn't even connect with the movie. Also, the movie tries to hit us with a swerve and assume someone else is the bad guy, because at this point we don't know that the husband is not really the husband, even though they're hinting at it and they've already tipped their hat at it. But they try to hint at this other guy who might be the bad guy who is chasing her in the beginning, because they play evil music every time he's on screen. But that ends so abruptly and you don't see it throughout the movie. The movie tries to trick you for a total of like 2 minutes, and then it just stops trying. It just gives up on that storyline completely. And we're stuck with the rest of this movie, which also makes no complete sense. And it's not just the small stuff. Like, yes, she's in a wheelchair and the guy leaves the house, she's in a wheelchair. Then next time we see her, she's upstairs in her wheelchair. How did she get upstairs? They don't explain any of that. The cop is on the case and he's calling the hospital saying, hey, can I get some security tape footage of outside of the hospital? And the nurse that answers says, yeah, sure, let me get that for you. Why would she be the person he would talk to? Why is he not talking to the security guards at the hospital? It's stuff like that throughout the movie that makes the movie stupid. This is just completely horrible writing. And I should have had a hint that it was bad, because at the beginning of the movie, it says California and then it says something miles outside of San Francisco. Who cares? That doesn't apply to the story whatsoever. It doesn't matter. And that seems very amateurish. Like, you put stuff on screen that will connect with the story and give the audience information. That didn't help whatsoever. It didn't add to the movie. It was pointless. So right when I saw that, I was like, I'm kind of hesitant about this movie. And then the rest of it played out. So yeah, don't go watch this movie. It's horrible. I don't know what Netflix is doing. They seem to be okay with TV shows, but they seem to struggle at movies. I'm looking at you, Sextuplets, the other movie that Netflix released. I recently reviewed that. If you haven't listened to that review, go listen to that review. But yeah, that's about it. I have nothing else to add. It's just bad all around, and it's mostly just the writing. It's just horrible. As always, please do me a big favor and share, like, thumbs up, retweet, whatever to this. That would be a great help to me. Also, follow, subscribe wherever you are listening to this. And I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great day. God bless. I'll talk to you tomorrow.